Hello, I'm Brian, and welcome to Mead and More. So 10 days ago, I started these two basic meads. I'll post a link to it right there, the original video. So in that video, I did two tests making a basic mead. One of them, I tossed a balloon on. The other one, I tossed on a bubbler. Well, if you listen to that video, just before that, I had put a hole in the cap so that I could put the rubber grommet on and attach a bubbler. So the next day I went to check on the meads, and both of them were pretty darned active. And I was very happy with what I was seeing until I started watching for the bubbles. And I noticed that I was getting no activity into my bubbler at all. So I looked at it, and that was this one. This one has been just like this since the beginning. This is the one that had the bubbler on it, and so I'm looking at it, and I'm like, man, I can't figure out why it's not doing anything. So I went to pull the bubbler off, and that's when I noticed that apparently this piece of metal was still pretty darn sharp, and it just happened to slice that grommet and basically cut it almost clean off. I haven't even tried to take it off since. Yeah, so it cut that rubber grommet clean off. So that, of all things, this was my biggest failed experiment. Note to self, next time I'm gonna get plastic lids. Plastic lids, and I will cut them a little, or I'll drill them out a lot cleaner. I thought I had this pretty clean. Now that I'm looking at it, I can see it. There is one bit on here that is just a razor sharp shard. So I'm assuming that's where it could have got cut anywhere. But yeah. So this bubbler's all scratched to heck down here. This is, I think, one for the recycle bin at this point. That said, it's been 10 days since I originally pitched the yeast. The starting gravity on these started at 1.122. So I thought, it's been 10 days. If we look, we can see there's a good amount of yeast down at the bottom now. The activity seems to be going down a bit. So here you got the same, with a bit of yeast on the bottom. Let's go ahead and check the gravity of these. So let's get things set up for that. Alright, so I have all of my stuff in some Star Sand right next to me. Just want to get a couple of paper towels set. And let's see how these fellas are coming along. Alright, so I don't know that I don't know, there shouldn't be much difference between the two. They've been treated exactly the same from day one. I'm gonna go ahead and set this guy off to the side for a minute. I'm gonna grab you. Let's see if we can even get this off in one piece. All right. And this has all been sanitized in Star San. Let's go ahead and right now, boom. It has a very yeasty smell to it. And I'm not too concerned. I don't think it's I don't think it's down to 1.0 right now. So I'm not concerned about getting oxygen in it. A little oxygen is good in the brewing. When, you know, yeast needs oxygen. So as long as it's still brewing, I think we are good with that. So let's go ahead and see where we are sitting. Definitely a very yeasty smell to it. Very sweet smelling mead right now. Oh wow. It has eaten up a good chunk of the sugars. We are currently sitting at 1.038. I'm just making notes here. So yeah, no, this we'll check both of these again in about a week. I'm gonna go ahead, just pour it right in, get some oxygen in there. We'll close it back up. I'm gonna re-soak this guy as well. There we go. That's soaked. Pull you out when we dump this back in. All right. I'm quite happy with that. I expected it to have taken a good chunk of the sugars out. I was not really expecting that much of the sugars to be eaten up by now. So there we go. So yeah, super happy with the way this one's coming along. All right. And just out of curiosity, let's take a quick look here. I have the meadmaker.com ABV calculator open right here. Starting gravity was 1.122, and we are currently sitting at 1.038. So right now, if I were to, this would stay on the sweet side of things, but we would be sitting at 11% ABV on this guy. So it's doing very well right now. So we're gonna go ahead and I want to check this, see if having the top messed up for the first 24 to 36 hours made much of a difference in how this one is coming along. That one smells quite a bit yeastier actually. All right. Ooh. Wow. So this one is sitting right at 1.032. So there is a really slight difference between the two. I see why that one smelled just a little bit yeastier. So let's go ahead and get that back in the sanitizer. We're going to pour this in. So these are fairly decent ABV right now. I want to go ahead and just take a quick, just a little bit of a sample of this guy. Not much at all. So just a very teeny amount. So I'm getting, it's definitely yeasty. Probably doesn't help that I just stirred everything up. Oh, super sour right now. Ugh. Definitely not ready, or not drinkable at this point. So, like I said, this has been about 10 days. We'll come back in, say, another 10 days and get another check. Hopefully, it's pretty much done, or it's ready to be racked over at that point in time. At that point in time, we'll put it in a couple of clean, sterile jars, and we will make sure if it's not sitting at 0 at that, or at 1.0 at that point in time, put another balloon on it and see how it make sure that it's not still fermenting. If it's at 0 or 1.0, it should be done fermenting at that point in time. I'll go ahead and stabilize it at that point, and we'll stabilize it and just let it set for a while, and hopefully it'll have a much better taste at that point. So thanks for joining me as I do this little check to see how things are going, and get an air rate and everything with that. If you are enjoying watching this, or you want to continue seeing how this stuff is going, make sure you give us a like, hit that subscribe button. It'll help you see what we're doing here, and it lets me know that you guys are liking the content I'm putting out. All right, that said, we'll see you guys next time.